Death is the enemy. The first enemy and the last. The enemy always wins. And we still need to fight him.
You're scared, aren't you? What are you scared of?
Okay.
All right, so this is the discussion of the trailer for week 6, episode 6 of season 7 of Game of Thrones. Death.
So the Magnificent Seven in episode 6.
Although it
get
looked
one
like
guy.
It looked like there were a lot more than 7 there.
It looks like they picked up some wildlings along the way.
Yeah, maybe they.
Oh, they were supposed to get the wildlings.
Right, so they have some wildlings. So it's not just. So it's 7 guys we know, and then.
All right,
and then
so
some
good news.
All right.
The 7 guys got cannon fodder.
Right. Okay, that's right.
Yes, so that they don't. Some of them don't necessarily.
And
have
so
to
then
be
the Night's King comes out and gets to do one of these again.
Right.
That's right.
That's right. And so, what if they all die? Okay, so they won't. It's too much. But
No,
so the
John
big,
won't because he's going to run a
No,
dragon.
I know it won't happen. But for a second there, as they're running at the end, I thought, oh my God, could you imagine all 7 now become zombies? The Hound, the top wildling dude.
Because we still have not seen a zombie of a person who we really know
that
and
we know,
like.
except for the giant.
The giant, but it was, again, but it's not like John's buddy who's now like head of the wall,
Right.
Or whatever,
So,
the black, you know.
If we could see, Jorah might see his dad.
Yes.
Jorah could see his dad.
Oh gosh.
That would be bonkers.
Okay,
Did his dad die out there?
he did. He died north of the wall.
North of the wall at Craster's
Oh, Craster's
Keep.
Keep.
Yeah.
Where we know
that's gonna
they
happen.
Come down.
Yeah.
We know that the White Walkers come down to Craster's Keep to collect the babies.
Right.
So somebody comes down and is like, oh, look at all these guys.
Oh, by the way, well, no, he's definitely dead, right? Because if he wasn't definitely dead, they could even make him a
No, he's definitely
knight,
he's dead.
right?
He's definitely dead.
Okay, yeah. So it doesn't matter, but seeing him as a zombie would be amazing. So what do you guys think of the 7 main characters going up there? Do any of them die? Who dies? Who comes back? Magnificent 7, the remake, kind of surprised me as to who survived. Which was
I think Man Bun, William Hurt, and the guy with the fire bat are both going to die.
But now the fire sword dude who gets revived, if he dies, it has to have a very specific purpose because the Lord of the Light brought him back so many times, so that he has a purpose.
Right, and he's always wondered what that purpose is. So maybe his purpose is, it seems like getting one guy to take back to Cersei.
Seems kind of like a weak sauce service.
Yeah, not a great purpose.
I have a theory about that because we know every time he comes back from the dead or brings someone.
What's his name?
Is it Dondarrion?
Yeah,
No.
Beric Dondarrion.
Yeah, every time he brings someone back from the dead, he gets weaker. And I think he has about 1 left in him. So one of our, like we could see Jon, we can see Tormund, we can see someone else die, and then he uses the last bit of his life to bring them back.
Yes, that could be, because I don't think the Hound can't die because he has to meet with the Mountain. I don't think Gendry can die. We just met him, and I think he's going to have a little Arya romance. But that one is the weakest argument. He could die. But I
think Gendry's going to make it because you don't bring him back and then waste him.
I
don't think.
Yeah, you could. He really could. But his weapon is too cool.
His weapon is cool.
Like you can't just use it for 1.5 episodes.
So but you're right. That the Hound can't die. He's got to meet the Mountain. Gendry, I don't think can because he has to meet Arya and he's got a really cool sword. I mean, a cool hammer. Richard, I suppose, could die.
Richard could die.
But he could get killed by his dad in a moment where they look at each other like they have a moment of hey, and then But more likely, somebody comes up from behind and cuts Dad's head off, like before, while Richard hesitates.
Right.
So, and I don't think that Tormund can die because no question we got to have that moment with Brienne. Like I just.
It's not a no question. It's not a no question.
I think it's. I don't think. I think so. I think
Tormund would be a badass
end up
addition
on
to
the Iron Throne.
So Tormund could be a
They'll call him
badass
Iron
addition.
Beard.
I don't think so. He's got
a zombie.
He's got some. There's again. Well, there's a lot of people who provide the sort of comic relief that he does. It's like he's like Braun.
Yeah.
But again, that Brienne thing has been too hinted at. I think it. I'm not saying he has to survive forever, but I think he'll.
So we all agree that William Hurt's at the top of the list.
I think William Hurt is the top of the list. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll see how Game of Thrones they make it.
And then maybe they have to.
Because in a normal thing, William Hurt's the red shirt and he's gone, right? But if it's Game of Thrones, you never know. Maybe they kill 3 of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's possible they kill 3 of them. It doesn't seem
Maybe
like
they'll make it, but I
doesn't
think
seem
that's
like they
unlikely.
still have that mentality. That was an early, like we're propelling toward a finish here. So so I sort of I doubt that they're
Right. I mean,
they're not
we've
as
got
eager to
at this
kill people
point
the way that.
2 more episodes in
and
this season, and then 1 more season.
Of 7 episodes, and that's it.
Right. So people gotta start dying.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, the second to last episode is when they always do.
Usually.
Yeah, it's usually, not always,
Not
but
always,
usually.
but
You're right.
But like the shocking, oh no,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's where we tend to have that.
Right, but I think that's more likely to be
Yeah.
Sansa killing Arya. Which by the way, then Gendry's dead.
Yeah. Though I wonder because they're drawing the episodes out, they might not do that formula.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So and then of course the brief Sansa Arya, kind of
We
fight
hear
in the
Arya
trailer.
saying, "You're afraid. What are you afraid of?" We don't know that she's saying it to Sansa, but
I have my suspicions that what we were talking about before is that I do think now that Sansa and Arya are going to come together. Like just watching that scene, it's like Arya's asking, "What are you afraid of?" And I think Sansa's will be like, "Littlefinger." I'm afraid of Littlefinger.
This is what Cenk and I debated so long, but in the original review. But I think that's definitely going to happen. I'm not sure we get it right away, but it would be nice. And I just want Littlefinger to get his, and I want Arya to add him to the list.
Yeah, I mean we all do, but one of my theories, and we have all plenty of theories. So and some of mine contradict each other. So I'm not saying I know what's going to happen, but one possible outcome was the only 2 people left standing are Varys and Littlefinger,
right?
Because the light and the darkness. So I just think Littlefinger makes it pretty damn close to the end.
I don't know. I actually think if you think about the economy of characters and storytelling and what needs to happen, we're now looking at potentially 2 really nasty wars we have to go through, and I don't know now that we're down to really just a couple of contenders. From a storytelling standpoint,
Littlefinger seems like
he seems superfluous. He's a complication.
That was true then. It just seems less true now.
Right, like he served to keep things chaotic, but I think that it's from a storytelling standpoint, you could set up Sansa and Arya to plot and kill Littlefinger and have him be his storyline end by the end of this season. Like I don't know that you really need him.
Yeah, I hear you.
Walker, Littlefinger.
Oh, watch out.
Also, I was just sorry. I was just saying, I just
zombies
don't.
plotting against each other.
Right, like we got this down. I just don't
That
see
might
them
help us.
plotting to kill Littlefinger. I just see more Arya taking action, and I see him slipping up, and she just does
Right, but
it.
they're gonna have to plot a little bit because he still has power.
They're
and
gonna have to work
right.
together. That's what's gonna bring them together, is they're gonna realize how dangerous he is. And they're gonna have to use both of their strengths because either one of them, they each need each other.
Yeah, he's
Because
obviously.
she'll go off because Arya will be too blunt. Sansa won't want to get her hands too dirty, and they're gonna have to work together to take him out.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something that's going to make you want to fast forward 7 days. So because you said it, the second to last episode is usually the shocker.
Right.
So someone major, especially because, and then Matt said it, like we're coming to an end here. A lot of people got to die and pretty quickly. So
Sansa dies?
It could be Sansa, it could be Arya, it could be Littlefinger.
Could be
it could be
Jaime.
No. Jaime is not long for the world. Period.
Right, we know that,
we think, right? It could be Cersei.
No.
So
I think Jaime and Cersei have to go together. They were born into this world with a few minutes apart.
other thing is-
they're going to die within a few minutes apart.
that's a great point too.
Right. But
That goes to your
Cersei can't.
suicide kill.
Yeah.
Cersei can't die
Queen
because
Slayer.
then who takes over? Who sits on the Iron Throne if she dies?
Yeah.
Qyburn.
So the mountain.
The mountain.
Yeah. No. Of course I don't know that, but I mean, we think him being Queenslayer is an idea we've been talking about all since the beginning of this season. In fact, in the previews we did of this season, we talked about how Jaime might be the Queenslayer, and during this last review of this episode, Ben said, Jaime could be dying and thrust a sword into Cersei and their kid.
Everybody kills the way that people had tortured them. Like he blows up the Red Keep with them in it. That.
Now remember, Jaime is now convinced that the dead exist and they are a mortal threat to everyone because he let Tyrion go. He presumably wouldn't have let Tyrion go if he wasn't convinced that Tyrion was right and that these guys are coming. And everyone's life is on the line, like when he was the Kingslayer.
We got to go. But we had talked about like Tyrion and the possibility that he's a Targaryen because the dragon's connection to Jon, and the dragon had the earlier connection, and the book's hinting at it. But assuming that Tyrion is a Lannister for this purpose, remember that when Jaime and Cersei go, if they go, we just in this episode we were like that Sam is now the Tarly head of the house.
Tyrion is the
Tyrion would be he'd be the top Lannister. It'd be his thing, and all of a sudden they'd be a totally different family.
Yeah,
right.
By the way, Tyrion, if we're right about him being a Targaryen and Aerys sleeping with Tywin's wife, is not at all a Lannister because Tywin's wife probably came from a different family, and so. Yeah, but anyway, we'll see how that plays out. No, guys.
I don't like it. You're like probably a different family. She could have been a Lannister because that's what these people do.
Yeah, but the Lannisters are not known for that, so she's almost certainly from a different family. You know what? I've now convinced myself Cersei and Jaime die next week because the last season is going to be the White Walkers versus everyone else.
But the
Lannister plot line could easily come to a conclusion this season.
No, I think we get both.
The Walkers are not interesting as an opponent because then you're almost out of
intrigue.
You're out of intrigue completely.
That's why I don't like the Walkers because there's no intrigue.
That's right.
So that's why we need Littlefinger to go over to the Walkers and start messing their shit up.
But that's why we need Cersei, and that's why we need Cersei as a storyline to keep them occupied, keep them from fighting the battle they need to fight. I think if
anything, what we may get before the end of the season is that when Cersei and Dany meet, Cersei kills Dany.
That's most likely.
Because then, from a storytelling standpoint, that puts Cersei's forces Dany's forces completely in disarray because there's not an obvious heir.
Except there is.
Yeah.
Right, but they don't know that yet.
But they don't know that yet, right? So who's in charge? So if that happens, now you've got the Unsullied and the Dothraki sitting in Westeros without the person that they see as their mother to kind of control them. Right?
So then you have mayhem.
Right.
Then you have mayhem, which would be an appropriate ending to this season, but we know that the person who can save that mayhem is still Jon.
And if you didn't watch our longer review, now that we know the dragons are amenable to Jon Snow can ride a dragon, making Daenerys expendable.
Right, and so if Jon gets on a dragon, then the Dothraki and the Unsullied will look at it and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not guaranteed because Daenerys was the one who actually set them free. Right. But I think at least the Dothraki respond to strong leadership. That's all they need to see is someone.
But I think Jon can't do that until he gets the news.
Yes.
Of who he really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all I'm telling you is we thought they couldn't kill Ned Stark.
And Sam's going north.
We thought they couldn't kill Ned Stark. Buckle up and brace for impact next week.
Cenk, you have convinced me. I am going to watch next week. I'm going to do it.
I got cool shit to do.
I'm going to set aside an hour. And I'm going to watch it.
All right, we hope you do too because we watch the episodes live and then we do a review live. So check all that out and of course always come to youtube.com/whattheflickshow for all of the Game of Thrones reviews. Thank you, and we will most definitely see you next week.